Hey good people, how you doing? Welcome to episode 4 of 254 Rugby. As always, we are looking at rugby stories from Kenya, from Africa and around the world. Our focus begins with Kenya, where the national 15s team, the Simbas, were in action at the Rugby Africa Cup, which concluded in Kampala, Uganda on Sunday, 28th of July 2024. It was a forgettable outing for the Simbas, given their recent record in the Rugby Africa Cup. They won the event twice in 2011 and 2013. They were third in 2014, missing on automatic qualification to the 2015 Rugby World Cup. And in the preceding years, 2015 to 2022, they have been second placed to Namibia. Well, heading into this tournament in Kampala this time round, they began their campaign with a quarter-final win against Senegal, 36 points to 17. It was a match in which the Simbas admittedly struggled for fluidity, and it was hoped that by the time they were going to face Algeria in the semi-finals, they would be able to have addressed these issues and would be able to overcome the challenge of the Algerians. That result didn't go Simba's way. They lost 20 points to 12 to the Algerians, missing out on a place in the final. And I must admit that the match between Simbas and Algeria exposed the Simbas for being indecisive, being clueless, and basically just lacking that sharpness, particularly in the final third of the pitch. Well, they headed out to the third place playoff against Namibia, and they lost by 38 points to 27.
Mbugua held back, but can they stop Onsando? Kenya getting closer to the try line. Are they about to pick their second try? And definitely Onkera Okeo.
Like a house on fire.
And that is exactly the attitude we were talking about, that Kenya needs to come with intent and hunger, and that is exactly what they needed to do, scoring the early try. And now if they can convert, they are well on their way to really giving us a good game and making sure that they take the game to Namibia and perhaps maybe make a very amazing comeback.
Pretty much sums up their tournament. And as if to add insult to injury, Uganda have overtaken Kenya in the global rankings, probably for the first time ever. They are now ranked 36th. The Simbas have dropped and are now ranked 37th. Well, I was chatting with a couple of friends, and one of my friends shared quite a number of interesting insights. We've talked about the team's preparation and how obviously it affects the team's performance. One of my friends had a more deeper, innovative view, talking about pertinent questions, asking, for example, how do you prepare a national team player who is badly coached and plays poor rugby at club level? My friend further opined that you need to get him and his mind out of the club rugby environment for a few weeks in order to have him play test rugby the right way. The way forward that this friend of mine proposed is to the Kenya Cup coaching teams into a one weekend or so facilitated by elite coaches and the national team technical bench. He further proposed, improvement of the ability of coaches locally, adding that, getting coaches to qualify for whatever level of certification is merely just scratching the surface. There needs to be continuous professional development, just as it happens for lawyers, doctors, accountants, engineers. You have to continually upscale your technical and playing staff. And I do believe those are important points that he raised. But as it so stands, there apparently is another chance for the Simbas to redeem themselves later this year, with talk of a championship involving them, some countries from Europe as well, in sort of one-off championship. We also do have matters of the Elgin Cup, so there's still time to redeem themselves. But obviously, the Simbas have to be a lot sharper going forward. You know, that's just my 2 cents, my friend's 2 cents. You don't have to like it, man. It is what it is. Yeah. Away from the Simbas, let's talk about Shujaa. They featured in their 3rd successive Olympic Games, and for the 2nd successive Olympics, finishing 9th overall. Remember, they played at the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, finishing 10th overall, and then in 2020 in Tokyo, Japan, they finished 9th. They also finished 9th in 2024 in Paris, France. Their results in summary: they lost 21-7 to Australia, they lost 31-12 to Argentina, and 26-0 to Samoa. That means Shujaa have still not won a pool match in Olympic Games appearances. However, they defeated Uruguay 1914 in the 9th place semi-final playoff before clinching 9th place with a 10-5 win over Samoa. Looking at this particular Shujaa side, they exerted themselves, played with a lot of purpose. Obviously, they were caught out, and those deficiencies, I'm sure, are areas that will be addressed by the technical bench that is led by Kevin Wambua. And I do believe that they also got a taste of what the World Rugby 7 Series is going to be like when they make their return in 2025 after being relegated at the close of the 2023 season. Like I said, overall, a decent display by Shujaa. A lot more work to be done for this young group of players, and do hope that they do pick up the lessons from Paris, from the Olympic Games. They do pick up the lessons that they also experienced during the World Rugby Challenger Series. Get back home to regroup and strategize for their return to the World Rugby Sevens Series. Also, well, there was rugby, Major League Rugby that took place in the United States of America. The Seattle Seawolves, saving it for last, defeating the Dallas Jackals 28-25 to reach the Major League Rugby final. And they'll play against New England, and that should be a game worth watching. It is important to note that the Seattle Seawolves is home to Monate Akwe, who has played for the Kenya Simbas. He wasn't part of the matchday squad, but he still is in line for MLR glory when the two sides face off in the final this coming Sunday. Taking it back, like it kicked off, there was plenty of thrills and spills. The Catholic monks were really the team of the tournament, surprising everybody in an amazing run that saw them reach the cup semi-finals. However, it was Brass Sugar who drew first blood at their 2024 campaign going. We will be talking about the Christie Sevens review in a follow-up production that will be aired on this channel. Well, that has been 254 Rugby for this week. We do look forward to catching up with you again next time. And as always, you know, you can subscribe to the channel. You can also share your messages using the number shared on the screen. Until next time, thank you for watching wherever you are. Thank you for the support. As always, let's keep it 254 Rugby.